Labs podcast, legally the best podcast. We are part of the Tokyo Beat Network. We're the podcast from game studio Chuhai Labs, where we talk about games, game dev, Japan, and whatever else comes up. As always, we're your hosts, Kinsey and Mark, so open yourself up to Chuhai and let's go!
Cheers, bitches! Whoa, we gotta. I'm not gonna talk about your intro and how it was perfect, but we got a packed house
Nailed
today. What the fuck is going on?
Yeah, it's Merry Modmas, episode 2!
Yay!
We are joined once again by our awesome Discord's mods. So please, introduce yourselves again for those of you who didn't listen 100 episodes ago.
Steven. You can now introduce yourself.
Oh, I'm Steven. It's been a year.
Nice. Nailed it.
That's who I am. That's what the government calls me.
Great move there. And our Torontonian.
Nice. Hell yeah, Dan. I'm a mod in the Chuhai Labs. I basically forced you to let me on your podcast in a video segment called Play This Shit, where I was like, can I do this? And you said
yeah.
Forced his hand.
Yeah. That was a good move because like it was good content. It's like, what can I love? Yeah, of course, obviously.
And we need someone to have good games commentary on this games podcast.
Mark doesn't play games.
Yeah.
I don't fucking play games.
Yeah.
I play Wolfenstein. That's not a game, dude.
Spoiler alert. Is that what you're going to talk about?
Oh, shit, it is. Yeah.
Well, we do this Merry Modmas every year. This is our new Christmas tradition because this is 2 years. It is now a tradition.
Yeah.
So, Christmas is coming up. What are you guys doing?
Steve.
Oh, I'm having like a real small Christmas this year, like a one-day thing. Like visiting my parents for one day kind of situation.
Okay. Isn't Christmas is one day? I don't know if you.
Yeah, but like I feel like when I was younger, it was like, oh, I'm gonna go to my hometown and see my parents for like 3-4 days. You know what I mean? Like stay through Boxing Day, do all that shit. But this year it's just gonna be like a hey, Christmas Day, see ya the next day.
Got it. What about you, Steven?
Just go to I have a bunch of family here now, so we're gonna see them for a day or two. Probably get some tearful like, "Oh, you're leaving us for Japan" type things, and then hopefully see as little people as possible in total, though, because I just like to stay home. I don't care if it's Christmas.
I'm sure you said something really cool there, but it was like, you know what I mean? So it was riveting stuff.
Roboted voice a little bit.
Oh, it happened.
Kinsey, since we're all talking about what we're doing, what are you doing for Christmas?
Well, not for Christmas Day, but coming this Saturday. So what? The day after? No, wait. When is this getting released? Whatever. Soon, I will be in Hawaii.
Oh, dude.
Oh my god.
Since my family, well, I guess my family's not going, but my husband's family is from Seattle. It's like meeting halfway. It's like halfway between Japan and Seattle is Hawaii.
Right.
It's not half the.
That's
it's not
amazing.
half the price for the flight, though.
No.
Yeah. It
should be, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty cool, though. Like, so what are you guys going to do on the islands?
So we don't have a huge itinerary, but what I want to do is I want to go swimming, possibly snorkeling, depending on the weather, because I'm also a coldy cold, and if it's like 70 degrees, I don't want to get in the ocean.
Okay.
It's cold. And then I want to go do some America shopping.
Right.
I'm going to do some America shopping.
Yeah, she's going to do Taco Bell and Target.
Oh, and I'm going to go, yeah. I've already been talking about it off the podcast, but I'm going to go to Taco Bell, and I'm going to go to Target. Yeah.
Nice. Hell yeah. Those are two classic
right?
places.
In Hawaii.
You gotta go to Taco Bell.
They're like,
right?
Yeah.
You get the volcano tacos if they still have that.
Ooh. And that's another thing I want to see is the volcano. I know it just erupted, and it's done erupting now, but I feel like this island's my best chance to see lava, because I've been to Hawaii several times, but I've never actually seen lava.
Several times.
Like, when it's still hot, like red lava, like lava.
How's that not a good thing? I haven't seen lava either. I think that's great.
yeah.
I want to see the lava flow. I think that'd be really cool. And especially because like old job of mine was like a dirt geology type lab, so I'm a big dork for that kind of stuff. So I hope I get to see it. I don't know if it's still flowing or what, but like I want to go. But yeah, Taco Bell because okay, we have Taco Bell in Japan.
Right.
Okay.
Correct, and it's good.
It's not good.
Yeah, it's
good. Not good. It's Taco Bell that doesn't have beans. They have 0 beans on the menu.
That's weird.
Right?
Yeah, but it's still good. this is she's tripping.
No.
Yeah,
it's not good.
Absolutely tripping. Like,
Here's the thing, though. Taco Bell in Canada also not good.
Really?
I mean, it's okay, but there's a thing in Canada where all the Taco Bells are attached to KFCs.
Oh, right.
And so they inherit KFC's fries, which are not very good.
Not very good.
So yeah, it's like a weird experience. It's like we don't have like true Taco Bell. It's kind of a bummer.
We had one KFC Taco Bell in Seattle, and I did not like that Taco Bell. They always screwed everything up. It didn't taste like Taco Bell.
Yeah.
And they threatened to call the police on me one time. So that Taco Bell, not a good Taco Bell.
Hold on.
Were you yelling about Taco Bell again in the Taco Bell?
I tried.
This is a Wendy's.
She shut the window on me in the drive-thru, and so I opened it back up, and apparently that is not a move to do.
That's a powerful move.
Yeah.
You're like, I'm not done here.
That's scary.
Yeah, not a fan, dude.
It wasn't a smart move, but I asked. So I have a thing at Sorry, it's not the Taco Bell podcast. I have a thing at Taco Bell where I always ask for cheese on the side so I can dip my shit in it.
Of course.
Okay.
And
it's great to be angry about
it wasn't
this.
in the bag, so I was
Yeah.
like, "Oh, hey, I just need to get my cheese," And she was like, "No, I put it in the burrito." And I was like, "What do you mean you put it in the burrito?" She's like, "No, it's in the burrito." And I was like, "No, but I wanted it on the side so I could like dip things in it, And she was like, "Well, I already charged you once, and I put it in the burrito, so that's what it is.
Wow.
You already got your side of cheese."
What a narc.
And then
She's
she
like
shut
not
the-
going to just
and
give you
then
extra
she-
cheese.
Right?
Like
And
they're
then
not
she
the
shut
bag of
window,
cheese or
And
something?
I was like, bro, this is like 98% of the reason I come to Taco Bell is for that cheese.
Yeah.
And then I got home,
Who?
and I bit into the burrito, and there's no fucking cheese in it.
Wow.
All right,
The audacity!
That's a twist.
before we go too
Yeah.
much deeper into that,
Sorry, I'm
this
done.
issue, Kinsey also got angry about dipping cheese dipping sauce at another restaurant. This is a reoccurring
running
thing.
theme.
Just throwing it out there. There's a lot of anger over very inexpensive cheese dipping sauce.
I have opinions on cheese dip. And I didn't get mad at the last one.
You didn't close. You got upset. You said the story several times.
So Mark, what are you doing for Christmas?
I'm gonna have a lovely Christmas at my house with my wife, and we're gonna have. She's gonna have mulled wine, and I'm gonna make a roast.
Nice, that'll be awesome.
Yes, I'm looking forward to it.
No cheese arguments.
And with that,
And with that, we have a great show lined up for you. Starting off, as always, we'll talk about what we're playing. Then we're going to slide right into the main topic. And then we got the news. And then we'll answer your questions from Discord. So stay tuned.
Hello, my name is Dan Gorman, one of your trusty Chew High Labs moderators, and I am here again to tell you to play this shit. Abzu is an absolutely gorgeous video game that comes to you from art director of Journey and Flower. It also comes to you from Giant Squid Studios and 505 Games. In this game, Abzu, you will find yourself gracefully exploring an expansive underwater world filled with schools of fish, beautiful plants, even some predators. It's a very mysterious, sometimes meditative, literally sometimes puzzling game that had me glued to my seat in awe the entire time I was playing. There are beautiful moments in this game that are seared in my memory forever. I absolutely loved it. I love this game. If you're a fan of Journey, if you're a fan of Flower, if you played those games, you'll know what you're getting into with Abzu. It's a very chill kind of exploration game with puzzles, and the swimming mechanic is absolutely amazing. And if you're not familiar with those games, then that's okay too. You should dive into this one. It came out in 2017 and is available on PlayStation 4, Xbox One, Nintendo Switch, and Windows. Since it's an older title, you can get it on sale from time to time as well. It's worth every penny. So check out Abzu. It's one of my all-time top 5 maybe favorite games. So play this shit and remember, play good games. My name is Dan Gorman, Chew High Labs moderator. Bye.
And now it's time for What Up, where we talk about what we're playing. And that rule I made 47 episodes ago is that guests go first. So, Steven, what are you playing?
I'm trying to play God of War Ragnarok, which that's pretty good. But if you played the 2018 game, it's very, very similar. Has a lot of the things I didn't like, but the last one was just the camera. But like for the most part, it's fine. It's a good game. It's a Sony game. It's you're gonna have good voice acting, good story. It's gonna look pretty. And I've been trying to play Tactics Ogre Reborn, which is like a remake of the PSP remake of the Super Nintendo game, or the PS1 game of the Super Nintendo game or something. But I started playing that a bit too.
Remake of a remake.
Yeah, I've been trying to do that, but for like work reasons, I have been playing Hatsune Miku Colorful Stage for iOS instead.
Nice. And how's that?
What is that? How can we start with that?
Yeah, so I think most Hatsune Miku games are like just rhythm action games, like kind of like DDR or Guitar Hero or whatever. And this is one on your phone, so you're just like tapping on the screen. But this one's also a gacha game, so there's like different characters and singers and stuff you got to put in. And I was just supposed to be like doing some research on it, but it just so happens I've now gotten caught up in the story, and I have to see how it ends. So that's what I'm playing right now, which is I'm shocked to be saying myself, but this is where I am.
That's kind of awesome though. Like I played like the Taiko games on the DS, and I didn't think I would like touchscreen rhythm games. And I also got the Taiko game on the Switch, and I didn't get the drum. So it's actually really they're more fun than I always think they're going to be.
Yeah, the Taiko one turned out to be really good. It reminds me a lot of the Taiko one.
Yeah, it was really fun.
Yeah, it's a lot like that. But like, imagine if like every time you're done with a song, a cutscene like a soap opera between high school girls talking about like wanting to be idols, or one of the groups I'm following is like in a band, and there's like one group of girls who are like making music on Discord that's a little more interesting and kind of dark, and that happens, and then you just play another song.
Okay, it's Hatsune Miku, and in what capacity does Hatsune Miku happen?
Good question. So in every story, when people's lives are going wrong, she's like the Mary Poppins, and she comes out of your phone, your computer, some electronic device, and she just appears as a hologram and is like, I'm taking you to another magical world called Sakai. And then you just suddenly are in that world without your consent, and she's like, you're going to make music, and I'm going to help you. And that solves all your problems.
I mean, that checks out.
I mean, that is...
Nothing solves your problem more like musical kidnapping.
I mean, if you read the history books, De La Soul, they got their start with Hatsune Miku taking them to another world. So a lot of great music has started that way.
Don't you ever say that to me.
I'm pretty sure that is how the Foo Fighters were formed, if I remember correctly.
Yeah,
that I can believe.
That checks out.
I do feel like the mobile is maybe not untapped, but like underrated as a rhythm game platform.
For sure.
I feel like there could be more rhythm games. Like you could totally do an Elite Beat Agent style game on a mobile phone, but like I don't think anyone has yet.
That would be cool. Elite Beat Agents is great. Underrated game.
So good.
I guess I have a weird question here, but does anyone play games on their phone regularly?
I do.
Okay.
I don't.
Yeah.
It comes in spurts for me.
Totally.
I don't like playing games on my phone
Yeah.
or my computer. I like games on my game thing.
It's
Yeah.
It's just like a different type of game, right? I don't really get like cuz now you can get with like the Netflix subscriptions and all these other things. You can get like game ass games on your phone, right? And people like hook up a controller to it, and like that's super cool, but I'm more just like, give me a Bejeweled, or like, you know what I mean? Like, I want something that I'm going to play for 20 minutes and it's going to be addictive, and then I'm done. I'm not going to sit there for 4 hours,
Right.
you know?
Yeah.
And then there's the battery
I mean,
issue.
I used to play Pokemon Go.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
I played Pokemon Go a lot. And I, like, when, Fallout the Vault thing? I don't remember what it's called. But yeah.
Vault Dwellers.
Vault Dweller thing, yeah. I played that a lot when it first came out. So it really comes in spurts for me. And I even played, like, I have Xbox Game Pass on my phone, like the cloud.
Oh.
And I played all of Unpacking on my phone with a controller. So.
Wow.
Underrated
Yeah,
device.
that's a perfect kind of game. Yeah, for it.
Well, I still haven't found a mobile game that like has got me, but this Hatsune Miku thing, I think this is
That's the one.
Yeah, I'm feeling it, dude.
Screams Mark Lentz.
Well, because honestly, the idea of being abducted and being forced into making music with a computer sounds really cool. No, I'm not even.
When you put it that way, it does sound really
like,
cool.
Like,
Yeah.
it sounds
Like a
like a
horror
weird
game.
existential crisis, like waiting to happen. Like I want to live that life.
Right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Dan, what are you playing?
So I've been playing this game that is on Game Pass. I think it came out like a month ago, maybe. It's called Ghost Song. It's basically Metroidvania.
Okay, cool.
And it's by this developer, Old Moon. I think Humble Games published it. I played it totally blind. I had no idea what it was other than that it looked like a Metroidvania, and I've been kind of craving Metroidvanias right now. And so it's like this game where you are this thing called a dead suit, which is like kind of a robot, but you're like a person inside there, potentially a humanoid. And you like land on this moon, and there's all these other like crashed spaceships, and it's just really atmospheric. You just kind of like land on this moon. You're like, okay, I'm gonna wander around now, and you like meet some people. You know, go find some new abilities. There, you know, it's a Metroidvania, so there's a lot of exploration. There's a lot of backtracking. But the whole atmosphere and the story and just like even like the audio design is super atmospheric and creepy. I've just been like super loving it. The only thing I would say that I don't like about it is it seems like there's not a lot of fast travel points. And I've like started to get the map uncovered, and I'm like, there's two fast travel points that are like beside each other. Like, I want to go like way over there. I gotta, you know. So you have to be in the mood for like, it's the kind of game where you could be spending 15 or 20 minutes wandering into one section of the map and then just get fucking wrecked because you should not have gone there. You just like roll up on an entirely new type of enemy, and they're just like, "Oh, hello, you are dead now," and it's okay. Like you warp back to the save point. You lose your little collectibles and stuff, but like it's not like, oh fuck, I have to go re-find that map area. But it is kind of like, like there's been times where I've been playing it, and like my partner comes home and we're gonna cook dinner, and I'm like 20 minutes down an exploration hole, and I haven't found a save point. Like, what am I gonna do here?
That's awesome.
But it's really good. I think it's like a little underrated right now. It's one of those games where I probably wouldn't have played it if it wasn't for Game Pass and just being like, "Oh, give this a whirl." But yeah, I love the art and I love the atmosphere of it.
That's awesome.
Oh, very cool. You're playing it on Game Pass. Is it available other places that you know of?
Yeah, you can get it, I think, on computer. I think you can get it on Steam and stuff. Let me see, actually. Yeah, you can get it on Steam.
Awesome.
Yeah. It's like $20 on Steam.
Excellent.
It's really worth it. Like especially if you're up for just like, there's been some kind of like not scary parts, but the fact that you like roll up on enemies you've never seen before. I was just like wandering around this cool drippy cave, and this huge robotic skull just started like screaming and like running at me, and I was like, I don't know what that is. Oh my god!
Sounds horrifying and great.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. It's
So
fun.
I have some questions for you. I don't know what this game is. I don't know what it looks like. What kind of Metroidvania family of game are we talking about? Like what would be the closest ancestor?
Like, I would say any of the modern Symphony of the Night inspired style Metroidvania, like the Ori games. Like you will, like you go to your map. It's got it's not little squares, but it has like a pretty detailed map, and you can find save spots where you can spend the little things that you collect to upgrade your person, so that you can upgrade like your like cooldown on your weapon, which overheats, or you can upgrade like how much upgrades you can equip in the menu, because like if you only have a certain amount of points you can use. But it's definitely, like I said, very focused on exploration and atmosphere. Like, less of the kind of RPG, like, oh, I found a bunch of items along my way where I'm going to, like, you know, drink a potion or anything. It's definitely not like that. But it has that core sort of, like, yeah, if you've played, like, any of the modern Symphony of the Night, Ori kind of style, yeah.
Excellent.
Hollow Knight, that kind of thing.
I love a good atmosphere game, especially when it's like kind of that like, not like you're saying, like not scary, but like spooky.
Yeah. Yeah,
like
the sound design is amazing. All the drippy, like, weird atmosphere to the caves, and the way that the caves and the, like, not flora and fauna, but just, like, the way that, like, you'll go down a cave and it's, like, an entirely different, organic matter of a cave that you're in. It's, like, really cool. Yeah.
That's rad.
Sounds very, very great. Kinsey.
If you have Game Pass, check it out.
Kinsey, will you play that game? You are a big Metroidvania fan.
So, actually, all of that sounds great to me except the Metroidvania part.
That's totally fair.
Yeah, it's not. It isn't for everybody. But like the reason I said it all like goofy like that is because like this sounds right up my street. Like, this is my shit. And the whole time I'm thinking, I wonder what other people think about this. Like this could be like the devil to them, you know.
The devil.
Kinsey.
Yeah.
Kinsey, I'm gonna throw it to you now. What are you playing?
Speaking of the devil, actually, it's like opposite of that. Speaking of God, I'm playing Pentiment. There's a lot of God talk in Pentiment.
Nice.
Pentiment, the Obsidian-made side-scrolling game. Like they look like
like a narrative.
1644.
Yeah, it's like set in 1500s Bavaria, and it's a 2D game that's made in like the Renaissance style art, which I kind of love because like a lot of the animals look like those weird fucking animals from Renaissance painting. Like horses and pigs look super weird, and I'm kind of here for it.
Okay.
But at its heart, it's a murder mystery game, and I'm really enjoying it. It was kind of a slow start for me. I wasn't really sure if I was going to like it, but right off the bat, you get to choose like your character's like background and skills and all of that. So I'm a hedonist. Go on. Which I think, I mean, obviously I don't know about the other classes, but I think this one has the best like dialogue. Even though everyone's hella religious though, so I'm starting to use my hedonist responses a little bit less. Cause I'll be like, I'll say something to like a nun, and I'm like, yeah, girl, we could have fun. And she's like, oh, like.
Wait, you're trying to plow nuns?
I mean, if the
That's what I'm talking about.
If the option's there, I mean, why not? It's fun.
All right. A hedonist, just so I understand fully, a hedonist in this case is going to be like eating a giant turkey leg and like just going to town on the whole village.
Yeah, I mean, a hedonist, you know, is like, and likes the pleasures in life, you know, like
nuns,
wine and women and fun and all of that kind of shit,
nuns.
You know, nuns.
All right.
But
continue.
It's pretty. The dialogue is pretty saucy for the 16th century, but I'm really enjoying it. Although, I'm a hedonist, and I'm a occult expert, and I'm also an expert on like basically the earth and the sky, so like astronomy and like biology, animals, plants, stuff like that. But I'm starting to wonder if I chose right. I'm sure this knowledge of natural science will help me at some point, but like I have failed like almost every persuasion check because persuasion was a choice I could have done where I was like really good at public speaking and shit. But I failed almost every persuasion check, but I walked by a flower and they're like, oh yes, ragweed is common in this area because of XYZ. And I'm like, fuck, I can identify plants, but I can't pass a persuasion check is actually like gameplay, like, so I'm not sure if I messed up.
Maybe it'll come in handy later.
Hopefully,
you know.
Yeah, maybe someone will be poisoned or something, and I can identify the plant or something. I don't know.
Yeah, if only someone who knew about plants were here.
Oh, I got this STD. What should I rub on this?
Oh, someone already had an STD.
That you gave them?
I didn't give it to them.
Well, let's.
but I know how to fix it.
Right.
Because I also have a background in
Nice.
medicine. And I thought knowledge of the natural world and medicine, I think that goes pretty well together, you know? So, so one thing that was not made clear to me, or at least I just didn't realize it, probably it's on me, not on the game, but I didn't realize how little time I had to solve the murder. Because I guess I didn't realize there was like a bunch of murder, like each like act, I guess, has a murder that you solved. So
You're
in
too
the
busy
first
trying to
one,
plow
I didn't
nuns.
realize I was like, right, I was
You're
way
like,
too busy.
Wait, someone got killed? Sorry,
Doing
sister.
my hedonist
Yeah.
talk with the
What?
nuns, and like all of a sudden, like I was gathering evidence and stuff, but I wasn't really sure who did it. I had a lot of evidence on one guy, but I don't think he did it. But if I didn't say anything, my friend would die because they were already like falsely accused. So I didn't realize I was running out of time, and all of a sudden they're like, "Okay, time's up. Who do you think did it?" And I was like, "Oh shit, I don't know, but I guess I'll blame this guy because I have evidence on him, and he's an asshole." But then I just felt really bad because then they're like, "All right, he's gonna be beheaded," and I'm like, "Ooh,
I mean, okay. So
that's a bad look for me."
that
Yeah.
ultimately that's what this game is, though, right? It's like
Yeah.
it's you have to grapple with some
Yeah.
of these like big decisions that like maybe they're out of your hands.
Yeah, because
Like,
actually, I'll try to do it as spoiler-free as possible. I had a lot of evidence on this other suspect, but I liked her,
you know, she's probably guilty, right?
and like, I don't think
Yeah.
she
Like,
did
yeah,
it,
of course.
but if she did do it, he deserved it.
Oh.
So I was like,
What was he wearing?
I didn't even report her to the archdeacon when he asked me. I didn't say anything about her
So what's up with this, dude? What's up
Yeah.
with this?
because he deserved it if she did it. If she did it, man, get it, girl.
I'm almost like jealous about this game because one of the things with me with video games is like I always want to get into these games where it's like make lots of choices, spend a lot of time on like your character and get really invested in the role playing, but I always bounce off them just because I find that like it's almost like I'm like reading a book, not playing a game.
Yeah.
You know
Yeah, I
what
know
I
how
mean?
you
Like
feel.
the same thing happened with like Disco Elysium, where it was like
Oh yeah.
I'm really jealous of like the experiences I'm hearing people talk about with these games where they're like how invested they get and how cool it is, and I'm like, oh, I wish I could get
Yeah,
into
that's why I
them.
didn't play Disco Elysium still.
Yeah.
Like, it looks good. Everyone says it's good. But I'm like,
Right.
I'm going to drop this. My attention
Yeah.
span's going to be like, ooh, shiny. Oh, there's a gun? Is that explosions?
Yeah,
Just play something else.
Yeah.
totally. Yeah.
Yeah, the same thing happened to me with Disco Elysium, actually. I was playing it, and I just kind of fell off.
Oh.
And I didn't even play enough, I felt like, to really be able to talk about it too much, even on the podcast. Like, I just fell off so early.
Yeah. Right.
But, like, my partner keeps trying to watch me play Pentiment, and he sits down for, like, 10 minutes, and then he's like, nah, I'm out.
Yeah.
It's a lot of
Yeah.
reading. And, like, every
Yeah.
time I sit down to play, I'm probably bored for the first 15 minutes, and then all of a sudden, I'm like, all right, I gotta go
Yeah.
do this. I gotta do this. I got my to-do list in my head. I'm gonna go. Okay, I got my plan. You know.
That's good. There's,
So then I
there's a
get,
good
like,
loop
really
in there,
into it.
like where like your brain gets going and you got
Yeah.
stuff to do. You got nuns and
Yeah.
murders.
It
got
sounds
stuff
like
to
you'll
do.
finish it.
I think I will.
Someone's going to
I'm
finish.
really enjoying it so far. Yeah, and like I gotta know who did it now because I already wrongly accused one person. I gotta know who did it.
That you got to accuse
And,
everyone.
like, yeah.
That way no one finds
Yeah.
out that you did it wrong.
I think the one thing though that I didn't love is that like everyone talks about in this game that they're like, oh, we're not gossips, we're Christians, you know. But like, so there's a lot of that kind of talk. But like when I went in front of the archdeacon to like say what I thought, it was only I said the guy who I had all the evidence against, and I mentioned one other guy, but I didn't really have evidence, so I just was kind of like, oh, and there's this other guy. And then later I talked to him, and he was like, you almost got me killed. I'm like, how do you know? That was like
Archdeacon
in
be
a
gossiping.
confession. What? How do you know? So then I was
Yeah.
like, okay, Kinsey, you have to think about what I say to people more than I thought I did. Because now this guy's pissed at me, and I'm like, he's like, you could have accused me for murder and I didn't do it, kind of thing. And I was like, how? But you weren't accused, so how How do you know?
This was really hard to follow, Kinsey.
I thought this is interesting. I kind of want to. This needs its own sideshow. What happened
I
next?
sort of do like like what happens with Kinsey, or like because it'll be every detail, and the rest of us will be like, I don't know, but it's interesting.
And then like sometimes in conversation, and I don't know, like I'm making a big choice when I make it. Like I'll just be talking to someone, and then one of the responses, it makes a little like daunting sound effect, and it's like, "This will be remembered." And I'm like, "Oh, I hope I."
Imagine that happen in real
Right?
life.
And
It
then
kinda
you're
does.
like, "Oh shit." Yeah.
Yeah, it does up here, but imagine if, like, in the middle of a conversation, you're talking to someone and it's just like, boom, boom.
Yeah.
This will be remembered.
Is that the Law and Order piano?
Dun, dun.
Yeah.
Oh man,
Yeah.
can't get a redo.
Yeah.
But overall,
What a jam.
I am really enjoying it. It was a slow start for me. Like I did start it like a few weeks ago, and I played like, I don't know, 20 minutes, and I was like, nah, not for me. And then I only picked
Yeah.
it back up because I don't know, I heard more about it, that people liked it, and I was like, okay, I'll give it another shot. And I don't have anything to talk about on the podcast, so I better play something. So,
Yeah.
but now I
I
really
did
like
hear it was a slow start.
It's a
so,
slow start.
Yeah.
But it's great. The writing's really good. And like for a while, like it's all written in like old, like, you know, like 16th century script.
Oh,
And you can turn that off to make it easier to read.
phew.
But I actually, I turned it
Yeah.
off for a while, but then I turned it back on because I think it adds a lot of personality. And I'm starting to
Nice.
notice, like, I don't even know if it's a thing. I'm probably reading into it. But like different people have different like fonts.
Oh, that's cool.
And I don't know if
Interesting.
it's like their personality, their education level, like, and people make typos in their thing.
Huh.
Like in their speech bubble, there's typos, and then the
Huh.
game will fix it. But it always starts off as
Oh.
typos.
Huh,
And like
interesting.
it's kind of cool. Like I think that has like with the character, like I don't know if education level, personality, combination of all of
That
that.
reminds me of
like,
Chrono Cross. I don't know if any of you guys played that back in the day, but like
Yeah, I did.
it was a technical achievement, but they like managed to turn like 40 different characters' ability to say the same line 40 different ways, and like some of them would spell the
Yeah.
word differently. It reminds me of that, but like more modern, like the fonts changing.
Yeah,
It's really cool.
It's really cool. I really like that detail that they added.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I like it. Pentiment, made by Obsidian, is great. I like it. It's on Game
question.
Pass, I think.
Nice.
Question: what kind of game is it?
It is a
Adventure?
narrative-driven 2D side scroller.
Yo, you're side
Of
scrolling?
intrigue.
I did not get that part.
Yeah, it's 2D, so I guess it's. I mean, move
yeah.
sides.
Okay.
It's side scrolling.
Okay, now
I don't know.
For some reason, I thought it was in first person. I don't know. Like Obsidian normally like does like Fallout like
Right.
stuff, you know? Yeah. I just
Yeah.
assumed
Yeah,
first person.
It's definitely
Huh.
a left turn. Yeah.
Yeah, it's totally like 2D, like you're in like a Renaissance painting. It's pretty cool.
very
Pretty
cool.
Nice.
So
are you playing?
It's my turn here. This week I'm not playing any new game. Okay, you guys are all playing new exciting stuff. Instead, I'm borrowing our company's Steam Deck, and
Yo.
Nice.
I'm running it through the paces. Well, really, I'm just seeing if I want to
testing.
buy it.
Yeah.
And so I installed Wolfenstein on it as a, to see what the hell this thing's about. Also,
You like that
why don't you
game?
shut the hell up?
Is Wolfenstein does
Yeah.
it have that like Steam Deck check mark? Of
Oh, I thought you were
approval
gonna
thing?
like play me for a second. Is that like some like 2D side scroller?
Wait, actually, real question.
Is that
You
like
mean
a-
Wolfenstein
yeah.
3D, right? For the record.
Return to Castle Wolfenstein. No. The
That's a boomer shooter, right?
No, I'm serious because there's like 3 games called Wolfenstein. I just want to make sure you mean like the OG like 1992 game, right?
I think no, I'm not playing that.
You mean-
son of a bitch.
I don't know. Somebody,
playing
maybe
that
you like that.
2000. Of course I do.
Okay.
The 2014. I'm playing the
reboot.
2014. I think it's called. Yeah, it's like the second reboot.
that game was
or
dope.
Third reboot.
Yeah, that's the one where like it's World War II, but like you got knocked out and you wake up and like you lost, right?
That one.
That
Yes.
one's great.
Is
Yeah,
that the
yeah.
one where you?
It's fucking incredible. My first time playing it too.
Is that the
And,
one where you shoot the dog in the first like 10 minutes?
Probably.
no, you shoot the dog and all. Of
Yeah,
them,
you
like
shoot the
that.
dog as soon as you
I've
shoot the
only
dog.
played one Wolfenstein
Yeah.
game.
Yeah, you hear a and you.
That's a cornerstone
Yeah,
of Wolfenstein.
Yeah, those are
Yeah,
Nazi
but that-
dogs. They deserved it. No
dude.
questions,
It's
no,
like
no
Yeah.
conversation.
the one I played. You have to shoot your dog in the beginning.
Oh,
Your dog.
no, that's
and
number
then
2.
and then like, okay, and then someone loses a head.
It's like in the
I
there's a
played it on an
flashback.
airplane, and someone was like,
Yeah,
someone was like watching in the airplane seat next
that's the
to me, and I
sequel they
was like,
made. That's like a
Yeah.
flashback.
Okay,
So not that one.
for historical or whatever, I have played Wolfenstein 2. I have not played the other one, so now I'm going back and I'm playing the New Order and the old Blood.
Old Blood. Oh, okay, good.
Yeah.
Old Blood's good.
So I'm gonna play all those. But I was mostly just testing it just to see if I like the Steam Deck, and I gotta say the Steam Deck is the greatest console that's ever been made.
Yeah, it's not too
Nice.
heavy.
It's pretty heavy, but like I don't know, you'd get over it. Like because
Here's
Yeah.
my question for you.
Oh, here it is.
So, as somebody that has not played with the Steam Deck, and I'm super interested in it, but I've kind of had this feeling in the back of my head, like, should I wait for like whatever the next version of it is? Because I've heard people say like the fan is loud or it's heavy or what, you
Yes.
know what I mean? Like,
yes, definitely.
Yeah?
I mean.
Okay.
I don't know when it's going to come out. So is that?
yeah, it could
is
be
it-
years,
Yeah.
right?
It's, I'm going to guess it's like a refresh of every 18 months, or those companies they change things so rapidly. But if you can wait. If you can't, because you said earlier, like you want to play when you play game ass games, like you want them to be not on your phone, not on your whatever, and it feels like I'm playing a console. It doesn't feel like I'm playing a PC. And so that alone is a huge benefit to me because like I like to sit on my couch.
Yeah.
And I personally am I prefer mobile style gaming, not mobile, but like handheld
Handheld?
consoles.
Handhelds, yeah.
Over everything, like so for me it's perfect. It is hot. I don't like that.
It's hot.
Yeah. it's-
Wait,
Yes.
like it gets hot while you're playing it?
Yeah,
Yes, because the fans are
Like
yes.
temperature hot?
yeah, like
It's not like
It's not
ooh,
spicy.
No.
sexy hot.
that's kind of why
Yes,
I don't
gets,
like it.
It gets warm.
That's why I don't like with the Steam
Yeah.
Deck. It's like too loud and hot. I want like my phone, which doesn't get really hot and burn a hole in my pants. Like I want it nice. I want
Sure.
the Steam Deck from 10 years from now.
Yeah, I mean we all do, but like I'm really into it now. I'm really into like the speakers are absolutely incredible
Oh.
for this thing. Like if you were to compare the speakers to the Switch, it's like night and day.
Yeah,
The
Switch
Switch is
speakers are
garbage.
They made them better on the
Terrible,
OLED model,
right?
but
Yeah.
they're still worse than in my Vita.
Oh, they're like miserable compared. It's sort of like a PC laptop speakers versus a Mac. Because the Mac ones, I don't know why, they're really fucking good.
They are.
They just spend an extra a few bucks on the speakers to make it actually luxurious. At the end of the day, though, yes, I am going to purchase one of these, and
Nice.
I will be playing all of Wolfenstein through it because that's a good series. I'm into that.
Yeah, they need to work on their names. I feel like it's
Yeah.
very confusing.
Yeah.
Old Blood, New Blood, Old Order. Yeah.
Return to Castle.
Yeah.
I agree.
I really like those
Yeah.
first two.
But the Steam Deck, though,
Yeah?
I feel like the built-in library is such a huge... Like, how many games does everybody have on Steam where you're like, I could get the Steam Deck and all of a sudden I've got like 30 games in my backlog I can go play.
And emulators.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
emulators.
You can go
yeah.
throw
I was
Big Screen Mother 3 on there.
Yeah. Like I mean, it's just the Steam library itself. Absolutely amazing that I can go pretty far back and like if games are optimized, I mean you're gonna have a great experience. I'm
Nice.
all for it.
One day I'll get one.
Yeah, we all will. Honestly, we all eventually we will.
We'll have
Like,
flying
it'll
cars
just be
and
the
we'll all
next
have a
generation.
Steam Deck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One day.
Those are the two things I'm hoping for in the future.
Right.
New Steam Deck, flying cars. That's
Yes.
And nuns, dude.
And nuns.
Plowing nuns.
It sounds like the Atari game you guys didn't name. Nunplow.
And now it's time for the Nasty Labs main topic of the episode,
Woo!
brought to you by the Discord mod.
Yeah!
So we had to throw some ideas of what to talk about into the show notes, and so one of the things that came to my mind was Game Pass in general, because I know that a lot of us here are into like physical media and vintage gaming systems, and Game Pass has been like a real kind of shake up with the streaming style offering. And I think that there's like a lot of positive and negatives that can come out of that. So I thought I would bring it up and just see if anybody has any thoughts on that. I can kind of start with the idea that one of the things that I feel like is weird about the game industry right now is when you buy a game, you know, you're not like gonna be able to play that game forever. It's like an installer file, or there's like a 30-40 gig day one update. Servers go down, and for me, the Game Pass is like a really great way to test things out and test the waters out. So one of the things that happened was I covered a game on the Play This Shit segment called The Art of Rally, which I played because it was on Game Pass and I loved. And then when it went off Game Pass, I just bought it and then was like, I know I love this game, so now I'm going to buy it. And I feel like that's not a bad way to go about it.
Right.
It's almost like like old video rental. It's almost like that. Like I did that a lot.
Yeah.
I'd rent a game and then I'd be like, oh, I really like this, I'm going to buy it. So it's like a similar thing, just digital. But I do totally understand. I really wish, I guess this is a different conversation from Game Pass, but I do wish like digital titles were cheaper than physical titles, because you have that risk of not being able to play it again if the servers go down or something like that. But ever since I moved and like completely downsized my whole collection, Game Pass has been like such a savior. It's awesome. I am like full Game Pass fangirl. But I also do the same thing that you do. Like if I played a game on Game Pass, and especially if it comes out like for like a lot of indie titles, if it comes out like limited run or something, and I know that I loved it on Game Pass, I'll buy it.
Totally. Yeah. The only thing that I feel like is like there's a lot of negative side to it is just the idea that are we like erasing... well, because like a lot of indie games do get on Game Pass, but I also feel like there's this whole sort of like mid-level game that like doesn't exist anymore. It's all AAA games or indie games, but like the B tier game is kind of like on the wane, and I feel like that's kind of weird.
Yeah, I got the unpopular position of Game Pass being bad. For the record, none of us here can do anything about that. It's probably just a trend that like we're not going to be able to do anything about, but still in a way, there's a lot of bad at least there. And I think that's one part of it is that Microsoft and like now Sony's getting on it can basically squeeze a lot of smaller publishers out of the market, because now every time you put a game out, it's not just competing against other games. It's competing against the entire Game Pass. Like if someone has Game Pass, a game on there is pretty much free to them. They're not looking at that subscription thing every month. It's auto renewing. Meanwhile, if you're making a game, you got to then factor in like you're now getting less potential buyers because of that. You're getting people comparing it to them. You're getting people who might just want to wait for your game to get the Game Pass, even if it's never going to Game Pass. You're going to hear people say, I'm just going to wait for it to get the game. It's the new Steam sale. It's like a lot of times a game would come out and it'd be like $15 and be like, I'm going to wait till it goes to sale on Steam. I'm like, it's $15, but I mean, so it's a bit like video rental back in the day, because like we pretty much rented all of our videos when we still had a video store. We like lived next door to one, but movies could go to a theater and make a ton of money there and like hold it off, and then they could go to a video store. Games don't really have that theater equivalent, and because of that, that is a place where like revenue isn't just lost, but it's being taken elsewhere. And like Microsoft and Sony can afford to take a hit, even if it's like not doing well for them business wise, like right now. But a lot of the smaller publishers maybe can't. And it's great. I'm always happy for someone if like their indie game ends up on there. Like, good for you, get your bag. But like a lot of indie people can't get on there necessarily, and they're still competing against that. And it's going to be interesting to see how like that develops. Like, because I mean, we're probably not going to be able to do too much about it, but it's good from a like as a publishing model, I guess, for like Microsoft and Sony to be able to just take a lot of games and kind of just grab bag them and get them to a larger audience. But if you're trying to publish something else, like that's really going to hurt you. Like it reminds me a lot of what Amazon did for like a lot of companies that used to sell games on Amazon sell their products on Amazon, and like now they are kind of pulling back, because if you sell your stuff on Amazon stuff could always look better than yours, and like you're just getting squeezed out price wise against them. So I still buy a lot of things physically too, so I'm biased there, but I try to own things.
I also feel like it's affecting, for me personally, it does sometimes affect my attention span. Like there's definitely been games that I played on Game Pass and then bounced off and was like, this isn't for me, and maybe bounced off it because I wasn't invested. I didn't plunk down my money for it and say like, well, I spent $20 on this, I need to play it for 3 hours and fucking get my money's worth or figure out if I like this game or not. But if I load up a game on Game Pass in a half hour that I downloaded it and then play it and I'm like, and bounce off it, did I give that game a true shot?
Yeah, I mean that's real. Like if you have if you open up your Steam Deck and you have 100 games on there, are you gonna have the discipline to actually play one of those games and not just bounce off it to someone else? And that's hard.
I know. Yeah.
Yeah, this whole thing is a little confusing because I think we can look at Dan. You mentioned earlier about how the middle tier is kind of being squeezed out, and I think that's 100% true. I mean, we can look at Netflix and how the middle tier movies are also being squeezed out. It's either the huge guys or the indies. That's it. There's no everything is either Oscar bait or Michael Bay. That's all that's really left, and I think we should be aware of that. But I also don't know what we can do to fight against it if we can. I think this is sort of an inevitability, unfortunately.
And I haven't seen a lot or any really hard numbers when it comes to games getting a Game Pass deal, but it is crazy for your marketing, getting on Game Pass.
Oh yeah.
It's it's a big thing.
We're about to play Fall Guys. Fall Guys was on PlayStation Plus day one. And so basically that was free to all of us who played it day one. We didn't put a dime down for it.
Yeah.
And we got to play that game for a bunch. However, now that game is huge because a bunch of people were waiting for it. They got able to put it on other platforms. After so much time of waiting for it, everyone loves it and is throwing all types of money at skins. It's good marketing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did also hear that talking about Pentiment, I think one of the guys from Obsidian said we wouldn't have made this game if we couldn't have put it if Game Pass didn't exist. They said we wouldn't have had the flexibility to make this game that's a complete left turn, not like what Obsidian does usually. But I also feel you could then look at that and say well, you're a really
You're also owned by Microsoft.
Company.
And
you're owned by Microsoft. Could you really not? Are you telling me you really couldn't?
Yeah.
But it is cool that they were able to make something so different than their normal thing, even if they are a bigger, well-established studio
that's owned by
Microsoft.
I mean, they're more likely than Chuhai Labs.
Yeah.
Chuhai Labs can't pitch that.
Yeah.
That's the solution. Chuhai Labs needs to make a Game Pass, Nasty Pass.
We need,
and all of your friends' games will go on it.
Nasty Pass.
We'll make our own pass. Blackjack.
Yeah.
Hookers. Yes. I think we should end the Game Pass conversation because that was
Just Nasty Pass. That's the answer. That's the solution.
Totally.
Dan, I think you had a second section available for us.
Oh, yeah. So the only other thing that I said was, it's game of the year, time of the year, and that was just maybe a thing that we could jump off to. Do you like reading year-end lists? Do you have any faves from the year or disappointments?
Number one game of the year. Curse to Golf.
Oh. Available now on Nasty Pass.
Get it now on Nasty Pass. It's 69% off.
Nice.
But I do like end of the year lists. I actually just saw this morning that Curse to Golf was a runner-up for best sports game on the Hardcore Gamer list of the year.
Nice.
So, I mean, let's be honest. End of the year lists are way more fun to read when your game's on there. But do you guys have a game of the year?
So going on with that Game Pass discussion, I'm somebody that does wait a lot to play games because I find, and I do the same thing with movies where movies and games come out and they get tons of hype, and then I will a year later buy them or watch them or rent them or whatever, movies or games, and it's kind of nice to play it outside of the bubble. and just be like, now I'm taking this game on my own terms outside of the hype cycle or whatever.
Yeah.
So, like, I don't. The games that I loved this year were a lot of like small Game Pass games, like Ghost Song or Archvale, which was an amazing bullet hell game. It's kind of like Zelda-ish. So like, there was a lot of games like that I just got super addicted to. Nobody Saves the World was really good. Stuff like that where, I didn't play God of War. I didn't play Elden Ring. I will maybe someday play those games.
Yeah.
Right.
But, yeah. I get really interested with, like, what's the, like, sleeper hit. So, like, a couple years ago, Loop Hero came out. And I, like, fucking got crazy addicted to Loop Hero. And then this year was Vampire Survivors. And when I watched, like, the game awards and that didn't win, like, Breakout Indie or whatever, Stray won, I was like, that's so wild. Like, Stray was huge, obviously, but, like, Vampire Survivors was such an out-of-nowhere
actual
game
breakout.
that has spawned, like, hundreds of games you can go now play that are just like, we also made Vampire Survivors.
It's that if you want to make a game and make a cheap buck, make a Vampire Survivor clone.
Yeah.
Call it Zombie Survivor.
Make it cheap and
It's
standard.
this year's was that the Untitled Goose Game where everyone kept making Untitled Goose games.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, totally.
I mean, really?
Yeah.
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 Well, what about you, Steven? Where do you land on a game of the year, end of the year?
Especially since in the past few years, like, I think I play so much indie stuff, so much retro stuff, and then I still try to play all the big AAA games that, like, I'm interested at the same time. That my favorite game every year ends up being like a retro game that didn't come out anywhere near that. So, I'm looking at the list, I do keep track of what I do play. And this year, if I was being totally honest, my favorite thing I played that came out this year was Destiny: The Witch Queen. Like, that expansion that came out.
Yeah.
I just got into Destiny 2 this year, but like that campaign, and I played all the campaigns that are available for it, and that campaign that came out this year was like a really, really good Halo game. That's what it reminded me of. And I've replayed it on co-op, and it reminded me of like playing Halo back in the day. So it'd be like that probably, or maybe Horizon. I did play Elden Ring. I didn't finish it. Still haven't finished God of War.
I changed mine. It's Fortnite no build mode, baby.
Actually,
I played the shit out of that.
So I definitely fell off Fortnite almost immediately because I didn't like the building or whatever. That was the thing that really held me up. I played some of that this year with my little sister-in-law and her boyfriend because they're both obsessed with it and they play it together and it's cute. So I played a bit with them just to entertain them, and like no build's awesome, and like that new season looks awesome. I need to get back into that.
I feel like, Mark, you seem to have some hateful energy towards Fortnite.
It's warranted.
That surprises me because I feel like you like ridiculous things, and there's no game more ridiculous right now than Fortnite. You can do like motocross backflip tricks and then land and shoot someone in the head, and they're riding a boar. It's just fucking
and they're
chaos.
Bruno Mars for some reason.
Fun.
Yeah.
Okay. All of this sounds pretty good.
It's great.
All right. You heard it here first. I will install the game after the show, okay?
Okay.
I will try it for the first time.
I do
will.
think
Give it some
the
time.
No build. So to be 100% honest, since I don't care about Fortnite, whenever I see a Fortnite article, I just like don't look at it.
Yeah.
But so I didn't know about no build mode till right now.
Oh wow!
And that sounds wonderful.
Yeah, it does sound
Really, you just don't know enough
Yeah.
kids.
It's crazy.
If you know enough kids, you'll hear
mean,
about
that's
it from
fair.
them. They'll be like, "What about Fortnite?" I'm like, "I don't play
Yeah.
that."
Totally. You know that like you're playing Fortnite and you get murdered and you're like, that was some kid sitting in a car on his way to soccer practice.
On his mom's old
This is
iPhone
fun.
6.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Peanut butter on the screen.
All right.
Yeah. Dude, whatever. It's fun.
So I guess we were talking about like our thoughts on Game of the Year lists.
Oh, yeah.
But now we're just talking about our
Yeah.
Game of the Year. Kinsey, what's yours?
I was trying to decide, and I kind of have like a bajillion way tie because I always forget like what I played this year because like, February feels like forever ago.
Yeah.
And even like end of the year games from last year that didn't really get a chance to be on Game of the Year. Like, I think Unpacking came out like into November last year.
Mm-hmm.
And so it came out kind of late, and
Yeah.
Game of the Year lists were kind of done-ish.
Close enough.
And yeah, so I really enjoyed that, even though that was late last year. And probably my game of the year so hard. I really liked Stray a lot.
Stray's
I liked
so
it a
good.
lot. There's a few things I didn't love about it. I also really loved Mario and Rabbids Sparks of Hope.
Ooh.
Oh, I
need
want to
to.
play
Like,
that.
I need to go back to it. I haven't finished it
I
yet.
hate the Rabbids,
but
otherwise
I'm
I'd buy
really
it.
enjoying that.
Yeah.
You know, the Rabbids are like, because I played the first one and like I just absolutely adored it. Like the Rabbids really grew on me like a lot, and I think they're trying to get away from the whole Minions thing by making them talk more. So I'm really, the Rabbids have grown on me a lot. So that game's so good. Like it just makes, because I really like that kind of like tacticsy XCOM game, but I never liked the theme of those games. So having it be like really lighthearted and silly and fun, like, is just such, a breath of fresh air for that genre.
You watch X-Files all the time, and
I
you
do.
don't like XCOM. You're like, nah, the theme of this is just too much, bro. Like, I can't hang with this.
I do really like X-Files.
That's what I'm saying. All right, whatever, dude.
But the X-Files show isn't turn-based. You're not sitting there waiting for someone
Bitch,
to
are you for real?
make
Shut
a
up, dude.
decision.
Get up out here with that.
I wonder what a turn-based TV show would be like.
Yeah.
It'd be boring as hell.
Yeah. The that Ninja Turtles game was good
That's
this year.
that's mine.
That,
That was mine.
Shredder's. Yeah.
Shredder's Revenge?
Shredder's Revenge. Yeah,
Yeah.
That's
Really
that's
good.
an easy win for me. Like that
Yeah.
and you had said like February is a long time ago. Like
Yeah.
Infernax came out in February or around then, and I couldn't even think about that game.
Yeah.
Until being reminded by the Nintendo Switch, like telling me what game I've been playing.
Yeah.
But yeah, Shredder's Revenge is probably going to be mine.
Oh, I really liked Pokemon Arceus, too.
Is that this year?
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that was this year. I didn't remember it was this year until I did my year-end Switch thing, and it was all Pokemon, basically.
Kinsey, of the what was the worst Pokemon of the year?
The worst Pokemon game?
Yeah, obviously.
Oh, like worst Pokemon
You could have been
animal?
asking about the Pokemon personally, yeah.
Damn, out of 1,000 Pokemon,
Yeah.
this is the worst Pokemon of the year.
It was you, Pikachu.
Squirtle, get out of here. Yeah.
No, maybe I was like, oh, but Wiglet like makes me uncomfortable.
Wiglet?
But I do like him.
I don't like that
He's
name.
like the
What?
curvy Diglett.
I don't like that.
That
name.
sounds worse. I'm
Wiglet.
picturing a pink
Isn't there-
Diglett, and I don't like it.
Oh, he's
Yeah,
white.
I know, dude.
Yeah.
Like, let me see that Wiglet. No,
He's
I'm
white.
Good, man.
And then he evolves into Wug Trio.
No more of this discussion.
Nintendo.
Okay.
Oh, so you said worst Pokemon. Well, I don't know, because I think Pokemon Snap may have been this year.
No.
And,
Is that the worst?
and then Pokemon Scarlet.
Pokemon
and
Snap wasn't.
It wasn't this year?
No,
was it
that
last
was like
year? The new
maybe-
one?
I think that might have been either last spring, like 2021, or the year before.
I was just
I don't
throwing
know,
that out
because
there.
it was up there as one of my most played games this year. It's the only reason I
Okay.
thought it might be this year.
No.
I have no idea.
You're just trying to get them to say the name.
Yeah,
The new-
yeah, dude, I'm a hater, dude.
I don't know. I mean,
Yeah.
I liked Arceus better, but I think part of the reason I liked Arceus better than the new one is because I really liked the theme and having it being you're making the very first Pokedex. Like, I thought that was really cool. And to not have, like, established gyms yet because, like, Pokemon aren't a thing. And people are still, like, afraid of Pokemon. They're not, like, helpful in their
As they
everyday
should
lives
be.
yet. So, like, it was just, like, a breath of fresh air, I felt like. It was really cool.
Yeah.
I kind of wish they didn't have like time travel shit in there. Like I wish you were actually like from that era and making the first Pokedex.
That part was
kind of
weird.
thing.
Like, why
Yeah,
was
I
it
feel like it
necessary?
I feel like it. I think they only did it so you could have the Rotom phone.
Oh, okay.
Like that was the only reason.
They couldn't just be like, well, it's not the real world, so they could just be like, well, it's back then, but we have one electronic. We just like, why not?
we have this cell phone.
It's not a real place.
But I did really like that one.
I will say I feel like slept on 2022 is Tinykin.
Tiny kid.
Ooh, I never played it.
Tinykin was really good and really fun, and it's probably one of the better platformers I've played in a while. I think I liked it more than Psychonauts 2.
Ooh.
Whoa. Those are fighting words.
I thought it was just I mean, I liked Psychonauts 2 a lot, but when it comes to like collectathon platforming, I felt like Tinykin did it way better in the sense of like, I don't know. It was just really, really fun, and I feel like it got kind of like swept under the rug because it's kind of simplistic. Yeah, it's good. Check it out.
So that's for 2022. Quickly, what do we think about 2023? I know it's a little early to pick your game of the year 2023, but do we have any like pre predictions on what are going to be the knockout games of 2023?
I am going to have to jump in and just say I think we can all agree it's going to be Zelda. Okay. See you guys.
I mean,
I don't know.
yeah.
I could see Zelda just being the same game again, and then me being like the only person who's like, it's just the same game, but you added one more thing. No.
I am worried about that.
And then
I
people
really
are gonna
am.
fucking love
They
it.
did so well. Why do they have to?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
What about you, Kinsey?
A big one, Zelda. I'm excited for Final Fantasy 16
Yeah.
as well. I think that's coming out next year. It
Yeah,
should be.
summer.
Well, we'll see.
June.
Yeah. So
It has
I'm
a date.
excited about that. Oh, that's right.
It has a date.
I'm really excited for that. And I'm excited about... Oh, okay. It was supposed to come out sometime this month, but every time I look, it still says December 2022. So maybe it's going to be 2023. But Sports Story. When is
Oh,
that
right.
coming out?
Oh yeah, it keeps getting pushed,
Yeah,
doesn't it?
and I really want to play it. And I think the Switch website still just says
Yeah.
December 2022. And I'm like, bitch, that's now!
Bitch ass now.
Yeah.
Is that a sequel?
Have you also noticed that?
Yeah, to Golf
Okay, that's what
Story.
I
Yeah,
thought.
it's a
Maybe they
golf
wanted to
story.
avoid being the same year as Switch Sports, because Switch Sports is having such a good year.
Yeah.
They wanted to like distance themselves,
be.
so it was gonna come out December, and they're like, let's just push it a little bit more. That DLC just came out. People are still talking about the other sports game.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is it just me, or is there like a mini influx of games that are being called like blank story? Because like there's Soccer Story right now, and I think there's even another sports game that has the word story in it. And I was like, but it's not like, are these coming out because Sports Story is supposed to come out and everyone's waiting around for it?
Maybe.
'Cause, yeah, Soccer Story is like a soccer RPG, and it looks very golf story, sports story
I love
esque.
sport RPGs. Earlier this year, I played Dodgeball
Yeah.
Academia. Man, that game's great.
Dan, what's the name of the sport of your people where you throw a rock on ice?
Curling?
Yeah.
Sport of your people?
Well, I mean, he's from the tundric city of Toronto.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a miserable a hellscape of ice, dude.
There should be a game
Yeah,
like
dude.
that.
Curling story.
There is a curling game. I don't know if it was only released in Japan, but on the PlayStation 1.
There probably is. PlayStation 1 has some great Japan-only stuff. It was criminal. Like they have that air balloon game I finally
Yeah.
played this year. Like that would be my game of the year. But Kaze no Noko.
Yeah.
That would be
Nice.
my
the
game of the year.
soundtrack is so good. It's just a chill game. You're just flying around in air balloons.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Sounds sick.
I'm looking forward to Final Fantasy 16 a bunch.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
Forspoken is coming out. I think it's like a timed PlayStation exclusive.
Oh, yeah.
Like there's no way it's gonna like stay exclusive, especially with like it being a new IP. But they're only saying PS5 right now, but it's probably gonna be Xbox like end of the year, Steam end of the year. It's being made by the
Cool.
I want to play that.
the FF15 team, I believe. Like that did.
Oh,
Yeah, like
cool.
Luminous
I have to get
Studio
into
or
that
Luminous
one.
Productions, I think they're called now. And then I do know like a person who's working on it somewhat, and I don't know. I'm excited about it. There's a demo. I haven't played it yet. It just came out like this
Yeah.
week, but I've been busy, Hatsune Mikuing. But
I
I'm looking.
had some
It looks
friends
cool.
who played the demo at TGS.
Yeah. It looks like it's like kind of like a beat 'em up with magic, and it's open world. Like you're just kind of like beating people with magic. I don't know.
Yeah.
I like the character. Yeah, I like her
That's all
hair.
Stuff I
Yeah.
Yeah, hair
Beating
physics.
people up,
Yeah.
magic, open world.
Magic.
Yeah.
Fucking curling.
I know Blizzard is a trash fire, but I'm gonna have to play Diablo 4. I'm a Diablo guy.
Diablo's
so
great.
I love Diablo so much, so I'm gonna play Diablo 4. But Blizzard, fuck you.
Yeah, I concur.
Yeah.
Fuck you, Blizzard. Bitches.
Yeah.
Just wait till the Japan Time reports it. Local Kyoto Studios tells off major game
Says, fuck you,
publisher.
Blizzard. also talking about plowing nuns?
Is this a scandal with nuns?
I haven't plowed one yet. They're very godly.
Local monastery says we have no idea who she is.
Yeah.
Never seen her.
All right. So for the news,
Whoa.
how do we want to do this?
We don't have to go through every one. I just put it all in one place in
totally.
case it needed to be there.
Whoa. So much shit.
Okay. I think I
You got a tone?
I think I got it.
Okay.
So basically, the news is the Game Awards and the Playdate Community
A whole bunch of
Awards.
shit got announced.
Playdate.
A whole bunch of
Yeah.
shit got. Okay. Great.
All right. Ready? Wait.
Wait,
Get
I
another
don't,
one.
I don't need another. I don't need another.
One
Red Bull.
more,
I
dude.
don't-
One more,
Ooh,
dude.
3
You-
Red Bull. Last
You
time
got
I had
so
3
many
Red Bulls,
wings.
I thought
3 Red
You
Bulls
have
in a
so
row.
many
Don't
wings
do
right now.
that. Don't listen to Mark. Don't listen to Mark. That's a
she
bad
needs
idea.
it because, frankly, like she needs loose and wet stool, right?
Don't
is
we
that the
all?
name of this episode?
Yeah.
Is that what Red Bull does?
Loose and
Red
wet
Bull doesn't
steel.
do that.
That's the dream.
when you shit that, when you drink that much Red Bull, yeah.
I assume
dude,
it's
you're
just
gonna have
rocket fuel.
fiery hot.
I'm assuming rocket fuel comes out or something like
Where you like lift up
Yeah.
off the toilet.
that, or like some nuclear waste or something. Like it's like a glowing rod.
Nah, three Red Bulls will just mean my heart will explode.
Yeah, I think I did that at like a
Yeah.
LAN party in like 9th grade or 10th grade or ever playing Halo, and
Bad
I
idea.
stood up and then I couldn't sit down again. Bad idea. Never again.
Yeah.
I stick to Four
You get the
Locos.
like caffeine shakes. Yeah,
I stick to Four Locos and Chew Highs now.
There we go.
All right, we ready for news?
I'm ready.
And now it's time for the news! A lot of stuff happened in the last week or so, and it's pretty fucking exciting stuff. So the big one is the Game Awards happened. The Game Awards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And a lot of stuff won.
The titular Game Awards.
Game Awards. A lot of stuff won. A lot of stuff didn't win. There was a lot of announcements. We can go through a few of the. That's it. That's the news.
That is what happened.
So I think the standout here is obviously best sim game, Mario and Rabbids Sparks of Hope. Yes.
That's what it won.
That was
Kinsey
a-
Burke Game of the Year
That was
2022.
That was a big win for Nintendo. They needed that. They were coming from behind, and frankly, like none of us saw it coming. Like it's just so great that an underdog like them was able to pull it through.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry, but best sim game? Like, why is it in that category?
Best sim game.
What is it?
I think it was
Oh.
yeah,
sim/strategy.
sim slash
but
strategy.
Man.
Yeah.
I do like the idea
Yeah,
of
it's a
pretending
rabbit
that's a
killing
sim, where
sim.
you're like very accurately simulating
Are we
the
sure it's
lives of.
Is that what it really like?
Yeah.
That's a
They
fair.
do have a lot of weird categories.
Sim slim slash strategy.
Yeah.
So
Fuck.
what else happened?
I was upset that sport racing went to Gran Turismo 7. I love the Gran Turismo games, but I mean Forza
play
was
7
so
though?
good this year.
It was so,
I
it
played
was so
I played some
good.
7.
It's the
really
Gran
good.
Turismo of Gran
But I played
Turismo.
way more Forza.
It's the Grand Tour.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then Forza was the Forza
I mean-
of Forzas.
Yeah. I think it's just more of like a personal thing. I just played Forza is just so like rip around, like drive through a bunch of shit and flip your car off stuff and then land and just keep going or whatever. Yeah. I just got tons of hours.
I think
of
both
that game just
franchises are
driving
so
around.
good that they really need to just like sign some kind
Yeah.
of truce and co-develop like one game, and then that, or they need to get rid of this category
totally.
and say no one's allowed to win it
Yeah. Right.
for the peace.
Yeah.
Because like both they tend to come out like so close to each other, and then like they're always compared, and
yeah.
like they always both look amazing and have like a ton of cars and do whatever they're doing really
Yeah.
well.
It's so
Yeah.
and they're so
Like,
different.
Forza is like
Yeah.
definitely like going like getting not exactly arcadey completely, but like is getting like that end of it,
Yeah.
like kind of like off the center, and then
Yeah.
Gran Turismo is like not a super sim, but it's like leaning that way. Yeah, like
But, like,
they're
in
not
that
the same
direction,
thing
yeah.
anymore. Like they might have been like Gran Turismo 4, Forza 1,
Yeah.
maybe. Like it's not the same anymore.
And actually, looking at the winners, it makes me realize I forgot one of my games that should have been on my Game of the Year
Ooh.
list. And
Okay.
it didn't win. It was
What?
robbed. So,
Okay, let's get it real. Yeah,
game?
okay.
Come on.
Best indie debut game.
Yeah.
Stray won. I think it was best debut. No, it was under best indie game. Best indie game. Stray won, which I love Stray. That's great that they won. It's a great
Kinsey
game.
hates cats.
But Cult of the Lamb.
Oh,
Cult of the Lamb.
that should have been best sim.
I want to play that.
It was so good. That game's so fun.
I played
I
bit.
played it nonstop for a while.
I played it at Bit Summit.
I gotta
and that
play
was
that.
it. I bought it even. I just haven't played it really. One day.
It's really good. It's really good.
That's on my list of like games I didn't play this year, but I know are like all like totally up my alley.
Right.
I love the
So I
art
need
in
to
it.
play
It's
them.
so fun.
Yeah.
Like, it's so charming and, like, kind of, I want to say wholesome, even though it's, like, not really that
So,
wholesome.
it's
Like,
wholesome.
Depends on how you want to play it,
yeah,
right?
that's true. It depends on how you want to play it.
Wholesome.
It's
Yeah.
it's
I heard
wholesome.
stories of like people were like, "Oh yeah, I put like all my prisons next to the toilets and all this stuff in that game." And I was like,
I did
"Whoa,
put all my
what is
prisons
this
next
game?"
to the toilet.
How did this not win best sim game?
Yeah.
Yeah, that game's awesome. Did you guys have any standout winners or ones that didn't win and that were robbed?
No, I mean, I was really glad that all of the first-party companies won all the awards, and
Yes.
I didn't see it coming.
That's crazy.
Let's see, is anything on here besides Stray?
Final Fantasy
not
14
made by
multiverses.
Okay.
Oh, Elden Ring. Elden Ring also,
Yeah.
but just those three.
It's weird how all the big companies swept when it's this
Sponsored
award
by them?
show, like
Yeah, but by the
Sponsored by
same
these
companies.
It's
Yeah, God of War won like a million awards, I felt like.
yeah. I was really surprised the other
Yeah.
year when the
I
game
was-
the awards host was in also won a bunch of awards.
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I mostly just tuned in to see the announcements.
Yeah. And speaking of
I
announcements,
just because it's yeah.
Okay.
did you guys have any
Yeah.
standout announcements? What are you excited for?
I mean, I'm really excited for the Earthblade
Oh,
from the
yeah.
Celeste developer.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That
there's a
looks
lot of
really
games
good.
from people who we haven't like seen stuff from in like 4+ years.
Yeah.
Like the BioShock, that team has been allegedly working on this for like a decade because Ken Levine pops up in the news every once in a while, be like, "We're working on something right now,"
Judas,
and then it
yeah.
just keeps going away. And then like it's Judas or like Earthblade. Like Celeste came out 2018.
Yeah.
That was a minute ago.
Yeah.
I'm excited about the
was really
Bayonetta spinoff.
Sorry.
That looks.
Oh,
It kind of reminds me of
yeah.
Okami
Yeah.
a bit, and like it's made by some of the people who made that. Like I love the art style. It looks like less of a
Yeah.
hardcore action game and just a bit more of like a more linear action adventure game. So that seemed like there's gonna be exploration maybe, and then Returnal coming
That
to
looks
PC
cool.
is great. I already played the game this year and beat it, but not enough people have played it. It's so underrated. More
I'm
people need to
stoked
be on
play
there
that. I can't
hope it's
wait for it to hit
crossplay.
the PC so I can play it.
because there's co-op.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I love Housemarque, and I was so bummed when it came out and I couldn't play it because
You need a really
switched
good
to Xbox
SSD to
this
play it.
generation.
Like you're teleporting from like an entire
Yeah.
giant like biomes like immediately, or you're like teleporting across the map like in an instant. But
That Bayonetta thing, I'm not really a Bayonetta guy. I haven't really played too much of them. I like that kind of like beat 'em ups, hack and slashy kind of gameplay. But Bayonetta, and that it's never been my thing. But when that trailer went on, I was like, this is such a cool art style. Looks so different from the other games. It definitely pulled me in, as a non-fan.
Yeah, like me too.
Yeah.
Like
That's good.
I played a little bit of all the Bayonettas, but having like that like kind of origin story game that's like a way different gameplay and really cute art, like I'll try it. That looks amazing.
I'm excited. Like, and they've been working on it the whole time, I guess, because it drops in March.
Yeah.
Like, and I was really excited for that like viewfinder game that they showed in the very beginning.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
That looks really cool. Like, so I'm really excited about that. And yeah, Bayonetta.
Hades too.
Hades too.
Oh,
People
yeah.
are flipping over that. I can't get into that. It's a little too sexy for me. I don't know, man. Personally, I'm pretty excited for Armored Core. I think that's kind of the standout. That and the Cyberpunk expansion, but that's an expansion. I mean, that those are great, but like
Yeah.
that's not as exciting as a whole new game in the series. I
Right.
don't know if anybody's played Armored Core, but they're super
been a
nerdy
while.
and fun. And
I was gonna ask, are you an Armored Core fan? And
Are you a hard
I
Armored
didn't
Core?
play 5.
Yeah.
No. I haven't played 5. I played all the other ones, like from PS1.
Yeah, I played the PS1
so
games.
it's kind of nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of nice to like.
My Armored Core experience is the Armored Core 2 demo where I was just like on PS1 where I was like, what am I doing?
Yeah. It's so good though. I mean, that's why I got into it because of one of those demo discs, and like I think they're fucking brilliant,
Yeah, I'm excited about that. Like,
What about-
I thought maybe From was just going to keep making the same action RPG over and over again. But if they make an Elden Ring and make $1 bazillion and then they make an Armored Core afterwards, I'll take it. Like, yeah, we get like a little bit of the thing that makes the money and then the game for the rest of us, maybe.
Right.
I'll take it.
Yeah.
And the Game Awards were not the only awards that happened that
Oh,
week.
snap.
What else happened, Kinsey Burke? What else happened, Kinsey Burke?
The Playdate Community Awards brought to us by the awesome people at Tiny Yellow Machine, and they were such a blast. Like, it was a big live stream. There were tuxes. It was great. Whitewater Wipeout was nominated for Best Arcade Game.
We didn't fucking win though.
We didn't
It was
win,
rigged.
though.
What's up with that, dude?
What?
It was rigged.
Like what? No, it was rigged. It's like here we are. We work hard to be nepotistic around here, right? And they're not gonna throw us a bone. What the fuck did we do this for?
Somehow Microsoft.
All the first
What?
parties just swept Playdate.
Right.
Yeah.
And one thing I think that's really
Crazy.
cool that came out of the Playdate Awards that I did not see coming was, I mean, there were like a lot of really cool announcements that I didn't see coming. Oh, the halftime show. Halftime show was dope. So if you haven't watched it, or if you want to rewatch it, and you happen to have a Playdate, the full live stream has been released for your Playdate. You can watch a Playdateized version of the
really?
Playdate Community Awards.
I need to do that.
I didn't know that.
I
Yeah,
need to
it's
do
really
that.
cool.
Okay.
Like, yeah, the PDX file was released recently,
How
and
big is it?
we can link it down below so everyone can check it
Gotta be
out.
huge. Yeah.
I don't know.
No
Actually, I
idea.
just got my Playdate like the day after that happened, so I didn't like. I got it afterwards now, and like all the file sizes are like really tiny. So I was like, oh, like
Yeah.
the whole thing. That's probably gonna be the biggest thing on Playdate.
Right?
Bet it is.
But
yeah.
it's so cool that like somebody did that.
Yeah.
That's like just really awesome.
Yeah.
You can watch the whole thing Playdateized. And we presented an award.
3 awards.
3
Yeah,
awards.
Kinsey
We
Burke.
presented 3 awards. And it was really fun. We're really happy that we got to be included in all of that. And it
Yeah.
was just like the Playdate community is so like wholesome and great, and everyone's so nice, and like people create like really awesome things for it, and Playdate's going
Oh,
places.
I love Playdate.
I mean, yeah, it's pretty cool.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
I think this was the better of the 2 award shows. Sorry, Jeff Keighley.
Jeff Keighley's crying somewhere.
You ain't shit, player. Like this was like fucking. This was absolutely amazing. I think it was so well put together, and so there's so many like there were announcements and there were trailers, but it wasn't. Nobody's really selling anything. Like they're not force feeding you to buy the newest. Let me just look here. Hades 2. It's, no, that's a low blow. I didn't mean it like that, but I mean like, it doesn't feel as commercial.
Yeah.
Right.
It feels more like we're excited.
Now I
about
stopped
this.
watching the
Yeah,
Game
it's more
Awards
like the-
partially through
like-
it because I was like, wait, are there awards gonna happen? Like this is just commercials for like
Yeah.
I don't know, skin
Yeah.
drops and free to play games I don't care about.
yeah,
Yeah.
the Playdate Community Awards like really
Yeah.
felt like a community run award
was
show,
awesome.
which it is, but it just felt just so different. It had such a different feel, and Panic even dropped an announcement during the awards that was the upcoming catalog.
Right.
And so that's going to be their on-device store, which is really exciting. So you can
excited.
finally buy Playdate games on the Playdate, which is so cool. And the other exclusive announcement for the Community Awards was that it's going to have really cool music. Because if you guys all missed that eShop, like Wii eShop experience with the sweet music, Playdate's got you covered.
Yeah, as someone who just
Yeah.
so as someone who's new to Playdate, like one of my favorite parts about it is the operating system, which like is that perfect in between point of like where 3DS and Wii U were, and like Switch, where like Switch it's minimalist,
Yeah.
it's fast, but it's boring and there's no music and it's lifeless and it's corporate. And then there's the 3DS
Yeah.
and Wii U, which are like kind of slow and you have to like spend a few months to figure out where everything is, and you're always finding a new feature years later because someone online said it. And this is right in between where there's cute animations everywhere. There's so much personality. There's awesome sound effects. and it's still fast and
Yeah.
like you understand it all. Like it's great. I'm excited for the shop.
Yeah, it's so good.
Yeah, I'm really happy.
I'm gonna say something right here. Should we pitch a TV channel? You know how the Wii had the Wii channel?
Oh,
Yeah.
Should we pitch to them like
Nasty
like
Pass?
PlayTube or something like?
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure
Yeah,
PlayTube
that's
is
bad.
already something.
Yeah. Okay. I'll backpedal from that one a little bit, but you know what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah.
So we should pitch a weekly show
That you can watch on your play date.
on your play date. It's every week. It's
That
4
would be
minutes
pretty rad.
long.
Be pretty rad.
Has anyone made like a magazine style experience on there? It's pretty low res.
The
right? But,
resolution's
like I can imagine
pretty
that would be like
good.
turning a page.
Like,
You could
I could
turn a
imagine
page.
seeing a
Yeah,
scan
it's
on
like.
there.
Yeah, because it's like
Yeah.
monochrome, but it has really
Yeah.
high resolution.
Yeah.
Like it's really cool screen.
Yeah, the screen's
like it's really
it's
really
cool
nice
in
the way
person.
they did it.
Like when you see it in person, it's better than all the videos and
Yeah.
stuff. Like it's really sharp.
Right.
Would be cool to do like a lo-fi little zine on there, and when you crank it, you turn the
Oh,
page.
that would be awesome. It's like the perfect device for things like that, I feel like. And now it's time for Call Me Up, where we answer your questions from Discord. If you ever want to ask us a question that we will probably answer on the podcast, just go on over to Chew High Labs Discord, scroll on down to the Call Me Up section, and ask it there.
What are some examples of questions we won't answer, Kinsey Burke? and if they want to know those, where can they go? Like to your DMs on Twitter, which you can go to at twitter.com/Kinzilla.
That was gonna be mine. I was gonna say no, we're not allowed to answer the question. Why does Mark keep bringing up DMs?
Yeah, that's fun.
It'll be a secret
Oh yeah,
forever.
it's like fucking with people.
So our first question is from Alex Kind of Cares. How has the development of Curse to Golf been going this year? Any unexpected challenges that the team at Chew High has had to deal with, or has it been smooth sailing since release? That's a really good question.
It is a good question. It's a little too in depth for me. What about you, Kinsey? Can you answer?
I
it?
mean, as with any release, there's going to be bugs, and then once you fix one thing, sometimes it breaks another thing. So I feel like the first couple weeks to a couple months after you release a game can be a little bit hectic.
right.
Because it's like, oh, this thing, and especially because we released on so many platforms. Maybe the Xbox build has a bug that the other ones don't, and then you fix something on this one, and then it actually breaks something in the PlayStation
Right.
build. So there's a lot of that, but for the most part, it went pretty smooth, and working on some exciting stuff right now, just playing around, seeing what we can do. But yeah,
Yeah, I mean,
I'm like, how
it's-
much?
it's hard to make games with such few people, man.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. The golf team is not very big.
I feel like from the like external as just a mod, and then I played the game and it was fun. Like it did seem like communication is key,
Yeah.
right? And it seemed like communication. Like I saw people saying like, "Hey, I'm having this issue" in the Discord, and people were saying like, "We're looking into it," or like there was tweets
Right.
that went out and
Yeah.
stuff. And I feel like
Sean was on
that's
top
like
of stuff.
99% of the thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was pretty well handled. I feel
you.
like.
oh, yeah, heck yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, we want obviously as many people to play it as possible, but of those people, we also want them to have the best experience possible. So there's always a lot of just bug fixing crazy around release.
The stuff got fixed fast though. Every time something was found, it got fixed quick.
And I think one thing that I always forget about is on Steam, you can just upload a patch and it's there, But on consoles,
Nintendo.
a lot of them, you have to upload it. It goes through a check. It doesn't matter how big the patch is. It just and it takes a week. So a lot of people are like, why haven't you fixed this yet? And we're like, it's not in our hands anymore. Nintendo has it.
The guy at Nintendo's on vacation for the week.
Right?
Just queues piling up.
Yeah, so on some platforms, it's kind of instantaneous as far as uploading builds go. On some, it's not. So it's a challenge to keep up with them all and try and keep them all on similar time schedules and all of that when all that takes different amounts of time. Yeah. Game development's hard.
Yeah.
It is.
And our next question, it's also from Alex Kinda Cares, and it's a question for Mark.
Uh-oh.
When is the annual Nice Legs holiday song going to be released?
Oh,
Yeah.
that's a very nice question. Thank you, Alex. Yes, so my band is called Nice Legs, and every year for the last 6 years we've done, since we moved to Japan, we've done a Christmas and or New Year's holiday song, and this year will be the same. We have a new song, and I'm very excited. It's called The Rest of the Year, and it's about Lauren falling in love with my singer, falling in love with her current boyfriends. And
Aww.
it's about her falling in love with them on New Year's Eve and wanting to spend the whole year with him. It's not true, but like, but you can emotionally tell that it's true. I mean, she brings it. Like, she's a great fucking lyricist. And so that's what that one.
Awesome.
That one will
I
be
can't
out
wait.
in a couple of days. Pretty excited.
Ooh,
about
a
that.
couple of days.
Yeah, dude.
So possibly by the time this podcast is out, you can already get that song.
Okay, more than a couple of days.
Gotcha.
It'll be a week and a half, and we recorded it all behind us here at the studio. Pretty excited about
That's
it.
awesome.
Yeah, and this
those
one
great
is also
acoustics.
exciting. Yeah, well, sort of. This one's also kind of exciting because we hired a new drummer this year, and it's our first time where the drummer is a member of the band. Mm-hmm. Usually we have them as like
They're like a rotating
Like a
character.
feature?
yeah, sort of. Yeah, that sounds bad. It sounds like we
No,
don't fucking love them, but like,
no, this is a
yeah.
feature.
But like,
It's normal.
but so anyway, this time it has drums, and I'm
That's
pretty
awesome.
excited about that. Yes.
That's
Nice.
awesome. Next question is from Cupcake. Actually, Cupcake is one of my like patrons from a long time ago, so I've known like him a really long time. He's
Nice.
awesome. So thanks for jumping on our Discord. Okay, this is going to be an exclusive big drop because of this question. I noticed a switch.
Bwah, 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 bwah.
I noticed a switch of podcast networks. What does a podcast network do exactly, and why the switch?
Okay, so this is a weird but interesting question.
Yeah.
So a podcast network, the idea is that we are able to, we collaborate together and we can bring all of each other up, slowly over the course of time. And the idea is that, like, maybe, for example, Ray Barnholt from another show, maybe he could come on to our show and we could go on their show and kind of like cross-pollinate with each other's like fan bases. Also, the idea is that we can, like, let's talk turkey here for a second, talk money. The idea is that we can go to advertisers and collectively get a lot more, smaller amount of money for all of us, but we can go and we can make it rain a little bit more by saying like, we've got all of these shows that are backing us, and it's just a lot easier for bargaining. It's like unionizing in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
You can basically say, like, hey, we have all these shows, and here's the collective listenership,
Right.
and this is, we can, whatever, now we're going to hang.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's all it really is. Right?
Yeah. So we switched to Tokyo Beat recently. That's a collaboration with Hashi Media, which is a Japanese like marketing and brand activation company. And we have friends there, and they're great, and we love them. So it was an obvious choice because our old network dissolved. It's not a thing anymore. So like we had to get a new network.
Yeah, I mean they are hard too because like
Yeah.
you have to satisfy a lot of people, and you have to
Yep.
So and we all have slightly different goals, so it can be difficult. Everybody ultimately wants to get rich and famous, and hey man, if you're on a podcast network, probably not going to happen.
But it's nice to get a little bit of something.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, heck
Yeah.
yeah. No, I mean, because, like, all of us we're all the indie shows. So, like, we don't have bargaining power. We can't go, Manscaped isn't knocking on our door to talk about pubes. Like,
Or lack thereof.
Yeah.
yeah, that's true. Yeah, exactly. So, like, we've got to come together and be like, here's our show, whatever type of company that I can't talk about until they pay us money.
And that's all the time we have for today. Thank you so much for watching, listening on your favorite podcast app, on the YouTubes, whatever. And so a huge thank you to our mods for coming back for Merry Modmas Part 2. Where can people find you on the internet?
Steven.
You can. Actually, I really don't know. It's complicated these days. For the moment,
your
I'm on Twitter.
Don't make it complicated, dude. Come on.
For the moment, I'm on Twitter at Steven with a PH, but the T in Steven's a 7, so it's really Steven with a 7 with a PH.
We'll put a link and people can slide into your DMs right away.
For now.
For now. Daniel, where can people find you?
You can find me in the Chew High Labs Discord, or you can go on Twitter where you can follow me at YCKMD_.
Heck yeah! And what else can people find you doing with your weekly adventure?
What?
He'll get it. He'll get it. Whatever.
Play this shit in the podcast.
No, I meant your show.
Movies.
Oh, I also do movie streams online, and what are you talking about?
That was it. That was what I was at. Yeah, like every fucking week you like do this really cool stream. Come on, player. What's up, dude?
Yeah, if you follow me on Twitter at YCKMD_, I will tweet about watching movies collectively online on Thursdays and Sundays, and it's fun.
Come on.
You can also find me on Nasty Pass. I have a brand new show.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
It's the after show. Yeah.
Patrons only.
Yeah, patrons.
The show's just called The After Show.
Yeah.
And as always, Carve Snowboarding is out right now on MetaQuest. Whitewater Wipeout is out right now on the Playdate. Halloween Forever you can get right now on the Switchy Shop, and you can buy Curse to Golf on all the things. Leave us a comment or a review on Steam if you liked it, because those really help us out. Mark, where can people find you on the internet?
Twitter.com/TheHenryDemos. Kinsey, where can people find you?
You can find me at Kinzilla, K-N-S-C-I-L-L-A, on all the things. And as always, you can find Chew High Labs at Chew High Labs on all the things. And huge thanks to Tokyo Beat. Huge thanks to you all for listening. You are legally the best. We will see you in 2 weeks. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.